Hey, what up, everyone? I'm Sinnycool, and this is EverQuest Project 1999. And today we are on the green server on the level 10 wizard. Gonna show y'all a solo camp. We've showed it before as a duo, but wizards soloing, like especially this early in the game, they're the squishiest class. Like, put your, in the comments. If you have a different opinion, let me know. But it's the squishiest class I've ever played. Enchanter's probably second, I guess. But yeah, Wizard's pretty squishy. Gotta be the squishiest class in the game. I can't think of anything else that would be squishier. You got cloth only, you got super low HP, and if an enemy gets on you before you can lay down some massive damage, then you might be in trouble, even if you start out with like a couple big direct damages. So, yeah, even just a normal fight with a regular blue. We saw this in one of my videos recently at the beginning. We were going to do blackburrow, and I was just trying to meet up with Trey at the front of the zone, and I fought a blue gnoll, and I ended up losing the fight. I had full HP, full mana, just kind of didn't take it seriously, and it ended up killing me because you can get knocked down to slow walking pretty quick. You can fizzle, they can resist. Like, you can start out with two giant direct damages and knock them down to half health, and if they're right up in your grill, stuff can happen. And even if it doesn't, like, still, like, they can still get you just with some hard hits. Like, my wizard has, like, I don't know, it showed at the beginning here. How much HP does he have? He's got 180, but I think he's got some sort of buff on right now. I'm not sure if that's like an extra buff or something. I think somebody did come by and like give me a druid buff maybe, but 180 HP and you're getting hit for like 20s. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes that can take you out pretty quick, especially if you're not starting with full HP and whatnot. So yeah, we're gonna look at this solo camp today. Hopefully, I'm not screaming too much. Oh, the audio is messed up a little bit. Sorry. I was dad camping this. So this is the haunted ruins, the dread corpses. There's three of them. They're on a 6-minute spawn. So I was killing like two of them, sometimes three. So it was like one of those like 2.5 situations. I was barely holding the camp, and sometimes somebody would run by and kill one of the dread corpses, and I wasn't really sweating it too much, but I was trying to kill all three spots. And at level 10, they're going to be mostly blue. You'll find that you'll get a petrified skeleton here and there that's green maybe, but still gives experience. But yeah, I was watching a YouTube. I was listening to something on YouTube, and it recorded the freaking audio from that YouTube video. I wasn't, it was like an impromptu recording almost here. So we're on the wizard. We're level 10. We're fighting dread corpses in the haunted ruins in Kanos Hills, and we'll talk about that a little bit, and then we'll probably just get into some comments or something like that. So boom, killed that one. I kind of get into my groove here, but I think there is one situation. There's definitely a situation where I have to gate maybe somewhere in here. But yeah, there's three spawns, you guys. If you haven't seen my other video on this, there's like one here, and then one. See where this one's standing? It's kind of over there. You kind of go to the left of the ruins to get eyes on it. But there's three of them. We're about above into level 10 here. Last time we were in Blackburrow doing part 2 of the getting stuck and having to find our way out, kind of lost in Blackburrow, just dungeon crawling it as the duo at level 9. And it was pretty fun. Made that a part 1, a part 2, and some of the most fun I've had in the game in a long time. Just at low level with a duo, exploring around in a appropriate level dungeon, not super geared out or anything. Like, I could have died at any second there. I didn't know it was around each next corner or through the next door. The maps are crazy. You can't really tell where you're going or anything like that. So it was fun to like creep around in Blackburrow deeper and deeper and go through doors and pop around corners and crowd control, and it was really fun. So totally recommended. But here is a solo camp you could do as a very squishy wizard. So that's the I guess the hook for this one is that I'm a low level wizard. I'm level 10. I can't do like, I don't have no snare yet. I don't have invis yet. I don't have like good AoE yet or anything like that. My HP is super low. I have no gear at this moment, and I'm just having to figure out how I'm gonna do this as this wizard. So I'll definitely try to 2 times through some medding, because there is a lot of medding So I'd like kill one, I'd med up to full, I'd kill another one, I'd med up to full, I'd kill another one. It kind of went like that. I wasn't totally dad camping it. I would, kill one and then I would sit there and I'd, that's when I would be able to go AFK because I knew I was going to have to, meditate back to full mana. That's the only way I was able to solo this. I had to have full HP, full mana each time I went for a kill. Then I'd have to get it all back before I went for another kill. And that's how it went. So I was able to kill 2, sometimes 3, so around 2.5 of these. Was decent. It was a good, just, chill, like nobody else is on. You just want to get some experience. The bone chips are pretty good this early for plat. These dread corpses drop a decent amount of bone chips, and then if you can get a whole stack of bone chips, which you probably can, you can sell them for 10 plat to a necro or a shadow knight, or just stack them up in your bank and take them to the tunnel or something. People are always looking for bone chips, and they pretty much always sell for 10 plat a stack. So a good thing, good early platform, like before wisps and bandits and stuff like that. You got bone chips. So let's go through a fight here, maybe or two, and then we'll get into some comments from the most recent videos, because there was one really interesting comment that might explain some things to y'all. Something I talk about quite a bit that might be annoying to some of you, and it's kind of annoying to me too, and I know it's a little cringy, but it'll explain it once and for all, kind of like what I mean. But here we go with the firebolt. So I had full mana, full HP, firebolt. They come solo, which is good. 2 firebolts, so that's laying down about 100 damage there. 3 firebolts, which that one I don't think even hit, which it's kind of strange with that. My best direct damage at the moment, sometimes like an elevation change will screw it up and it won't hit. And sometimes it just happens in weird spots where you wouldn't think it would happen. But that time I tried rooting. So I go through a few different like strats. I thought it would be like direct damage root, direct damage root, direct damage root. I thought that was going to be the strat, but I ended up doing something a little bit different eventually. So here we're going to have to get back like a ton of mana. So let me just 2 times through this. It's not even that much footage, actually. It's like an hour. So I'll 2 times through this. You see there's like little decaying skeletons running through. You got some giant bats, maybe giant rats. One thing to watch out for is there's a pathing like dread corpse. So the pathing dread corpse will come from like over here and walk in front of you and like go like in circles around this thing, pretty much like this. If you can see my cursor on the screen, it kind of goes in circles around, but it takes a long time to come back. So it might go like further over this hill and like way over by Surefall and then come back. But what you really have to pay attention to is it comes like through here. So it's going to come through here, but if you're sitting where I'm sitting, which is very far back against the wall, like it won't aggro just off you sitting if you're not fighting. But if you're fighting something, when it comes by, it will join the fight. So watch out for that. Kind of keep your eyes out for that dread corpse. Maybe blow it down, get it out of there if you want. But the one that was pathing for me was a white, so it was even. So that will happen. Like some of these dread corpses can be level 10, which is fine. Like I would fight it if I had to, but I was choosing not to fight it because it wasn't really a problem most of the time. So I'd just let it go by, and then I would pick off a blue at the camp, and then I would, pick off another blue at the camp, and then I would do several rotations before I would see it again. And then it was a even. It wasn't bothering me, so I wasn't bothering it type of thing. But here we go again with the firebolt. Boom, another one. Bang. Oops, I got it on 2 times. Sorry. The only time I shouldn't have it on 2 times. Put it on 2 times, but it is what it is. So I try to just hit them with tons of damage before they get to me. Like that's my strat right here. And then just use all my mana. I can't afford to save mana or, I try to use my HP a little bit. I try to get some skill ups on piercing. I have a giant snake fang at this point, which isn't great, but it's kind of better than your starting dagger. But look at that. Look at that. Look at me just trying to kill that skeleton trying to get the last couple of hits. It took me like down to half HP. So that's what I was talking about earlier. If you're not blasting stuff with full damage spells, like they could kill you. All right, getting rid of my copper there. I'll try to pay more attention to the fights, but I actually go to kind of a different strat. Well, that was pretty much the strat there, I guess. I didn't root at all. So I kind of abandoned rooting. I thought it was unnecessary. So what I would do is blast them with my firebolt, which does like 47 damage. It's my highest direct damage. Like I said, the only thing I have to worry about is that it's like the trajectory, like missile one, where, you know, if they get in a weird elevation change, sometimes it doesn't hit and it just wastes your mana. So I had to make sure I have like a good angle on it at all times. And even if you're standing on like the side of a hill and it's standing on the side of a hill and it looks like you got a A to B like straight shot at it, sometimes the stupid firebolt just disappears and doesn't hit anything and you just waste your mana. So kind of want to make sure like you got a straight runway for that firebolt. So what I ended up doing was I would firebolt it and I would just firebolt, 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 firebolt. That's literally just blast with my highest direct damage back to back to back to back to back. When it, auto attack. So auto attack while it's not even aggroed yet. Firebolt, 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 firebolt until I'm out of mana. And most of the time that would take care of the Dread Corpse. And I wouldn't even need to do the melee. I would be trying to melee just to get some skill ups and just get a little bit more damage down. But all right, I'm pulling one here. So you see I keep missing it because I'm going at weird times. But just firebolt, 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 firebolt. That's what I end up doing. Screw root. The root just was kind of wasting mana and wasting HP at this point in the game. I think eventually we're gonna root and blast and root and blast, especially when our root will hold a little bit longer. Like right now, I root, I blast them, it breaks. I root, I blast them, it breaks. It's kind of annoying. But later on, it's gonna be a little bit better if I get like paralyzing earth or something like that. Like the root will stay on longer through maybe a couple of DDs, or at least I can root them, DD them, move a little bit before it breaks, and then root again or DD again or whatever. All right, let's put it in 2 times again. I'm meditating. I'll try to get this more tuned in, but that's what I'm using right there, the firebolt. I was kind of looking at the mana differences. Like I was thinking maybe I could firebolt, 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 ice strike or something to save a little bit of mana, which does end up working out. I think is what I end up doing. So the firebolt's like 40 mana for 47 damage. The ice strike is like 30 mana for 36, 37 damage. So sometimes it would be smarter to do the ice strike for the final blow if they're like really low on health instead of doing another firebolt. And that would just help me get to the next fight quicker. Got my hoodie on with my headset with all kinds of stuff on my head. Hopefully this sounds okay today. But do I got it 2 times? Yes. All right, so that's basically what's going on here. Super squishy wizard, no audio, commentary, level 10, Kanos Hills, Haunted Ruins, soloing with a squishy hiney wizard, and just firebolt, 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 firebolt. So we almost got the mana. Let's watch an actual fight all the way through here. People kept coming through the camp and like stealing one of the dread corpses, which I sent like a message to a couple of them, like, "Hey, I'm doing this camp. You're free to take one if you want." Like I wasn't trying to hog it because I knew I could only do like 2.5. So if I sat here and claimed the entire camp, which I could, I was killing all of them eventually. But especially with the Pather too, like it was hard for me to kill all of them. But all right, we got a dread corpse here spawning in. I got full HP. I got most of my mana. I got some buffs on. We got the Dread Corpse. We target it. And we stand up. We firebolt. We auto attack. Boom, 47. Do it again. Boom, 47. Do it again. Boom, 47. The Dread Corpse is under half health. It's on me now, though. Boom, another 47. I'm auto attacking. 4 points of damage with that auto attack. Now I'm trying Shock of Ice to see if I can save like 10 mana. Boom, 36. I should have done the firebolt there, but I was just testing it to see. I might try to stab it to death now, but look at this. Watch this. 22, 22, 5. Look how low its health is. And it took out like 2 whole bulbs of my HP there. It's like almost worth it just to cast a low-level spell instead of trying to melee something to death. But that's typically how one of the fights would go. We got a guy over here like attacking one of my spawns. I end up talking to him, and he's just trying to get bone chips. And I said, "Hey, I'm doing the camp, but you can have that that side one if you want. And he's like, oh, I'm just looking for bone chips so I can go into back into blackburrow. I'm like, all right, that's cool. Good luck, you know. I don't know if he's wanted me to say, oh, here's some bone chips, but I'm trying to save those up. So sorry about that, buddy. All right, let's put it in 2 times, and we will read some comments. I'll try to put it in 1 times when we're actually fighting, but it's pretty much this view the entire time with no audio. Sorry. See, that's where I'm talking to the person and everything. But we'll go to our newest video, which is EverQuest P99 Lost in Dungeon and Fighting Way Out Part 2 Wizard Necro Duo Level 9 Most Fun in Game BB aka Blackburrow. Alright, let's look at these comments. We got 18, which might be some of them might be me responding. If I don't respond to you, it might be like I'm gonna do a video. I'll go ahead and turn it into 1 times for a sec here, because we're getting close probably to pulling. I want y'all to be able to see it in regular time. Alright, we got Christopher Kennedy, which, let's make sure your name's actually that. Yes, Chris Kennedy here. Hey, you're playing Fortnite, man? I've been playing some Fortnite, dude. My name's Sinnycool on there. I mean, let me know that you're Chris Kennedy from YouTube. Like, don't just assume I know who you are, but you know what I mean? If you ever see me on the game, I play that game kind of like I play EverQuest, so I'm not like duoing and squatting up a bunch unless it's with my kids. But just by the way, maybe like if we need an extra first squad or something one day. He said thanks, and that's all his comment is, but I think he gave a super thanks, which I super appreciate. No matter how much it is, like I super appreciate that. It just I don't get that much views, right? So if I'm depending on YouTube and Google and ads and AdSense to make it worth making these videos, like it's pennies, y'all. It's literally pennies. Like if a video doesn't get at least like a couple of thousand views, you're not making more than $1 or 2 off a video. Like honestly, like I think 1,000 views, just for transparency, I think on 1,000 views I get like a couple of bucks, maybe. And like a lot of my videos they get 1,000 over time, like eventually, but for like a month to get it, like to make it count, like in a certain period of time to where I get it. I mean, it does all stack up and it all is over time and blah blah blah. But 500 views, that's like $1 or something. So anything you guys add to that, like really helps out a lot. I'm not expecting to make like $50 a video or something like that, but it'd be nice to get like $5 or $10 for a video. And my mic wants to do the dying every 20 minutes thing, which I still haven't figured out, like why it does that, because it doesn't always do it. Doesn't do it always when I'm on certain things, like it's weird. But yeah, shout out to Chris Kennedy. Thank you so much for the super thanks. When you hit the like, it's kind of right there next to it, and it's the best way to support the channel for real. Or become a member or join the Patreon, but that's like directly. All right, we got another person here. Let's see who they are. We got Brian Atnip. Brian Atnip here. The comment. Are we okay? We're probably about to fight again. I'm gonna try to I'm sorry. Most of this is gonna be about the comments going forward, but just trying to get y'all another Sunday video. I haven't done a Sunday video in a long time. I'm just trying to get one in here. It's probably not the 10 out of 10 or number 1 out of 10 or whatever you want to say, but he said, thanks for the great video, Cinny. Keep it up. Happy New Year. Right back at you. Appreciate that. Always like the comments like that. Helps me. Like if you can't, helps me. You're showing by hitting like and watching it and leaving a comment, like that's the least you could do. I mean, I appreciate it if you want to help. So shout out to Brian. Thank you for the comment. Chris Kennedy said, enjoyed this one, Cindy. Appreciate that. We got Chad the Clip Baum leaving a comment, trying to help out. One of my mods, long time. Thank you so much, bro. We got Trey, the duo here. Some fun sessions in Blackburrow for sure. Changing up the scenery this weekend, he said. And I said, I didn't respond, but he knows that we're going to do the bandits. So we're going to go to Karana. Western Karana, try to get some bandits. Like, the game has been packed recently, like a bunch of people playing the game right now. So I'm not like 100% we're gonna get the bandits, but I'm gonna adjust the mic a little. It like seems like it's peaking a lot or something. Like, sorry, I know I'm always talking about audio and vision. Oh, what's up? I need to probably turn down the gain like a little bit, but I feel like when I'm in my car re-listening to these videos, I gotta like turn it up to 55, which is pretty crazy. Like other stuff I listen to, I can put on like 40 or 45 or 35. When I watch my own videos, I gotta put it up on like 55, which is pretty crazy. Nighttime, sorry. All right, here we go with another fight. Boom, firebolt. So I said, so yeah, we're gonna go to Western Karana, try to do the bandits. Hope that they're not like super camped out, because if we can't do that, I don't know. We could probably try to go back to Blackburrow. We could probably try to go back to Haunted Ruins. We could probably go back to Snakes or something. But I really don't have a backup plan if we can't do bandits over there. Trying to think what else. There might be just wildlife we can do, maybe. Or maybe there's something in Northern Karana. I don't know. I'm just hoping we can do bandits. I know there's like a camp in the south, and then there's like a lot of them up in north. So I'm hoping there's just enough for us. And, you know, he said I'm not far from 13 now, a little less than 1.5 bubs, I think. And that was 3 days ago. So I was level 12 and a half, and he's trying to like keep a little bit ahead of me because he's an Ixar and he has a 20% penalty. And I had Null Fangs, so I'm a human with no penalty, and I get all the Null Fangs. And he's an Ixar with a 20% penalty, so he's got to try to keep a little bit ahead of me so we can be around the same level. Chad there again, responding. Thank you, dude. Who do we got here? All right, I got like no mana and no HP, so I'll put it in 2 times. I'm not trying to make y'all sit here for too long. All right, Bo Lee in the house. Bo Lee leaving a comment. Dude, takes me a sec because I want to make sure I get your right name, your actual name. It says at Bowlees, you know. So I want to. He said Happy New Year. Happy New Year, right back at you, man. Oh, you left a super thanks as well. Thank you, Bowlee. Freaking helps a lot, dude. Like I was saying earlier, like these videos, like some people don't understand like how much you make on YouTube. Like, you know, you have to really get like a lot of views to make a decent amount of money without like support from your community. So if you have like zero support from your community, the only way you can actually do YouTube is get like hundreds of thousands of views. And I've never had one video hit 100,000 views. The best I have is like a 40,000 view video that got views over many, many, many years. Like that's the best I've ever done. You know, and I used to get some videos, and here or there we'll get some that are 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, like, but that's not been happening too much lately. There's that Dread Corpse. All right, let's put it back on 1. So I kept my peepers on him, but he wasn't really bothering me unless I was literally fighting something at the time he went by. All right, Dan Molina always checking in and leaving the a comment, an emoji or something. Shout out to Dan Molina. Thank you for watching for so long. I know it's hard sometimes. I'm a kind of abrasive. Sometimes I'm an ignorant hardhead that, you know what I mean? Like, I get it. So it's cool that people watch for so long because it doesn't normally last that long. Some people are super hot and heavy, and I think, wow, this person's like going to be watching for a long time, and then it's like 6 months, and then I never hear from them again. But we have some people that have been around a while too. But I feel like people eventually like lose interest, or I say something they don't like or something like that. I'm just waiting for it to happen. Usually I'm like waiting for the other shoe to drop. But Dan Molina's been around for quite a while on this EverQuest stuff, so I truly appreciate that, man. All right, who do we got here? All right, here's the comment that is kind of the main one I wanted to read. Are we in 1 times? Sorry about all the crap on the screen. Pretty easy fight there. Getting bone chips. This is the comment I kind of wanted to make this video about, and it's kind of cringy, I'm sorry. But, let's see what their name is. 7? Is that your name? It's like SE7EUN. Seven, something like that. This is kind of the comment I was thinking of when I was gonna. I know like answering comments isn't the best commentary, but when it's a video like this, it's like I can't just talk about shooting firebolts at dread corpses over and over and over at a solo camp. It's interesting to see if I die or not. Is pretty much all, and it gives you an idea of where you could also solo, I guess, and like you can see that it's possible on a level 10 wizard. But all right, we got 7 here. Let me put it 1 times because I'm about to be talking for a while. He says, what do you mean by keeping this going? Do you work? I assume this was a hobby for you, just supplemental income. Are you saying if you don't get enough money, you have to go get a regular paying job? I'm only asking because you brought the subject up. Yeah, and I don't mind. You know, I do like to keep some things private. Like, nobody knows my exact age, which it's obviously around your age, and it's not that big of a deal, but it's just part of like, I don't want to give out my social security number, my full name, my exact address, my exact age, every person's name in my entire house, and like exactly what my car looks like, and everything like that. And it's probably just, it's being super safe, you know? Only like one person that watches knows my actual real name, and they'll probably never reveal it because they're super loyal and cool as hell. So, and they gifted me something, and that's why I had to give them my name. So, uh, I'll read what I wrote, but then I can expand on it maybe. And if you don't like this, I'm sorry. You know, You can watch the next video. I'm just trying to get these back going, y'all. Trying to do Wednesday, Thursday, Sunday again, like we were doing. Like I've been keeping up with the every freaking Wednesday, but I've been slacking a little bit on especially the Sundays. So I want to just get one out today. I told him I work from home, but for myself mostly. It's like a weird situation with my other income. I don't want to explain it. I don't want to. I don't know. I say this takes time from which I could do more of. If this doesn't, this as in doing YouTube, takes time away from the other thing, which I could do more of and make more money, you know? You can just imagine in your head I'm door dashing or I'm doing Amazon Flex or I'm dealing drugs or something like that. Just imagine I'm doing something like that, I guess. Which I'm not doing any of those, but just imagine in your head that I'm doing one of those things. Like I could be doing more of that. It's not like a 9 to 5 job. You go to work, you work from 9 to 5, you get paid a certain amount. You have to do it every day, no matter what. And then you can, when you get home, you can have hobbies, you can do other things, yada yada. But the way my life works is I can do this or I can do that. And if I do more of that, then I can make more money, or at least try to make more money. So while I'm doing this, I'm not doing that. It's just one of those things. But I say if this doesn't make enough money to make sense, doesn't have to be a lot. I would have to do more of the other thing, or yes, get a real job again. Sorry for being ambiguous. I'm kind of private with some information, but yeah, this makes money, which makes it worth spending all the time it takes. But if it doesn't make a certain small amount, I need to use the time more wisely as I'm not getting any younger. People say to do it as a hobby on top of a real job, but I just wouldn't have time for YouTube anymore if I did that, as my days are packed as it is, and that would add way more. So, yeah, I was never able to do YouTube on top of like a real job where you go and you work 9 to 5. And I mean, a little bit, I guess, but my channel was like my channel took off when I started working from home. You know what I mean? So I could spend more time on it because it takes a lot of time to like play EverQuest. You know what I mean? Like you get on the game, you have to figure out what you're doing for the day. You have to go see if it's even open or able to be done, and then you have to start doing it, and then you have to start recording, and then you have to record a certain amount. And are you doing live commentary or are you doing post commentary? If you do live commentary, then it's going to look like crap. If it sounds like crap, you're screwed. So sometimes you just record a session like I'm doing here, and then I have to rewatch it and do audio over it. So I have to play the game and record it, and then I have to rewatch it and put the commentary on it. and then I have to, and then all the preparation before that, it's not just that. Like I have to maybe get to a certain level. I have to decide what camp I'm going to. I have to make sure that camp is open. I have to make sure it's going to work or not. I have to, then I do the actual playing, and then I start recording whenever I think it's like worth recording. And then I record a certain amount, and now I have some footage, and then I put that footage into OBS and I lay the commentary over it later, like I'm doing now with this. And then that takes a bunch of time too. So just imagine, it takes a little prep time. It takes time to play the game, an hour or two at least, and then you got to rewatch the hour or two footage and lay commentary over it, which takes another hour or two at least. So we're talking to make this video today. In total, it took me at least 2.5 to 3 hours to make this video. And then when it gets 400 views or 300 views, it's like I just spent 3 or 4 hours for a couple of pennies. It's fun and it's a good hobby. Like if you have a regular job and you're able to come home after that regular job and spend 3 to 4 hours on YouTube, like that's cool for you. But I got family, I got Mrs. Cinny, I got a bunch of kids, like, so I can't do that. I would have to, even if I had a real job, I wouldn't be able to do YouTube once I get home. It wouldn't be possible. It'd be too loud. Like right now I can record and stuff when nobody's home, right? But if I worked a regular job, it would not work out. There'd be flaming cartwheels, screaming all day and all night because everybody would be home at the same time. I'd go to work, I'd come home, everybody would be here. I would not be able to record. I might be able to play a little. Like you guys are thinking more of like you're not putting yourself into my shoes. You're thinking of yourself. Like you're able to play the game when you get home from work, right? But that's because you don't need complete silence to make a video. I don't have like a studio. I never got to the point where I could like reinvest into the channel. Like I have to sit here in my bedroom and play the game and record, and there's not a single room in the entire house that's not occupied or an area that people might walk through or be noisy in. So it's just one of those things. I can't just go get a real job and do it as a hobby. Like I would just play the game and not do YouTube then. That would be my hobby, just playing the game. It wouldn't be YouTube. Like YouTube's a job on top of playing the game, kind of. YouTube's a hobby too, but like you can't have so many hobbies without like kind of getting something out of at least one of them. You can't just stack hobbies on top of each other all the time. But yeah, that's kind of what so imagine you got paid for reading books. So every page you read, you make a penny or something like that or whatever. So while I'm playing the game, I'm not reading books. While I'm researching what camp we're going to go to in the duo session, I'm not reading books. When I'm running around going to the bank and selling and trying to buy stuff for my wizard in the tunnel, I'm not reading books. When I'm recording, when I'm actually at the camp and fighting and getting experience and recording the footage, I'm not reading books. And when I'm doing the commentary and making the video and all that, I'm not reading books. And then when I'm answering comments and I'm, doing all the other, when I'm live streaming, I'm not reading books. So all the time I spend on this, no matter what it is, just playing the game, recording, making thumbnails, live streaming, whatever it is, I'm not doing the other thing, which in this case, the metaphor is reading books. Every page I read, I get a penny. Every page I read, I get a dime. Every page I read, I get, I could be reading and making money. So I could stop doing this and just read full time and make more money. Or I could do this just for like a little hour and then read for the rest of the day and make more money, but do less YouTube. So the more this makes, the more like little bit this can make, the more worth it is. And like I said in the comment, it doesn't even have to be that much. It's like kind of ridiculous the amount that I need it to be that it's so hard to get to. Like, I just need it to be enough to justify itself. Like, especially to other people. I love doing this. I love hanging out with y'all. I love talking to y'all. I love making videos. I love playing EverQuest. I would do it for free. But, you got to explain yourself to certain people, like your spouse or your kids or your mom, or like, what you up to lately? Oh, just playing video games, middle-aged man just playing video games and, not if you guys go to work for 10 hours and then you come home and play video games, that's completely different than what I'm talking about. That's completely fine. You're doing a hobby and you already went to work for the day. But, I get home, I got Mrs. Cinny and kid, and Just noise, and kid needs to go here, kid needs to go there, Miss Cindy needs this, Miss Cindy needs that, time to eat dinner, time to give a bath, time to do this, time to do that. There's no time, and even if there is, there's no quiet time unless I stay up all night. So I'm going to have a job, stay up all night, make videos, then go to that job, and then stay up all night, make videos, and then go. It just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. Unless you're like single or you already have a bunch of money. Like if you need money and you're not single, and yet it's just almost impossible to do YouTube. Like, you know what I mean? So all I'm asking for is like here or there. Like, throw me a bone, throw me a couple of bucks just to keep the channel going. Become a member, join the Patreon, do a super thanks. Like Gems of War right now is holding this channel. Like you guys helped a lot last month at the end of the month. Like a couple of y'all, like I said, you know, Chris and whoever, Bo, you guys helped a lot, and I'm trying to like give you something for it too. Like if you want, let me know what you want me to do in the game, so that way you're buying something with your money instead of just giving me money. Like, hey, go do this, or hey, go do that, or hey, play this, or hey, play that, or hey, I want to see this or that. I'll try to do it, you know. So I'm not trying to just like beg for money. Like I'm trying to like sell you something, and hopefully you want to buy it. Is all. So I don't know. It's like the Gems of War live streams. I have to do those, and I play the game and I'm really good at it, and I'm good at like explaining the game and teaching people how to play the game. So I like making YouTube videos or streaming Gems of War because I'm just really good at it, and I can help other people get really good at it. And we have this community, and like I built my whole channel off of Gems of War pretty much, and then I added EverQuest later. So they're kind of keeping the channel going right now with when I live stream, you know, I get super chats and gifted memberships and stuff like that. And you know, sometimes I get none, and sometimes I get a bunch, you know, and sometimes it's just in the middle somewhere. And some months it's good, some months it's bad, and but it'd be nice if like the EverQuest side, like the videos would also be helping out, because Gems of War, you know, isn't what it used to be, and people just disappear that have been longtime supporters. And you know, used to be somebody else would come in, somebody would disappear, but here comes a new person. Somebody would disappear, but here comes a new person. These days, it's more like you lose two people and maybe you gain one person. Like it's getting pretty bad to where I'm getting worried that I'm not going to be able to keep doing this. And I keep trying other things and stuff like that. You guys can give me some ideas if you want. Like Monsters and Memories is a pretty good idea. Like if I try that, you know, the Gems of War people said, hey, try Puzzle Quest 3. I tried it. They said, hey, try Marvel Puzzle Quest. I tried it. You know, similar games to Gems of War. You know, I tried Final Fantasy VII Remake and Sekiro and Elden Ring, like right when they came out and stuff like that. Not super late. You know, I played those games right when they came out, and it still didn't help too much. You know, you kind of got to find a niche game that needs serving, you know, needs videos for. Like you can't, if you do a big game like Elden Ring or Sekiro or Final Fantasy VII Remake, like people are going to watch somebody else. They're not going to watch you. So for like my channel, it's got to be something like Gems of War or EverQuest or Monsters and Memories. And, you know, it's kind of a niche game that has at least 10,000 people playing it or more. But it can't be like a AAA brand new game, because you're not going to watch me. You're going to watch somebody else for real, because they're rich and they have really good editing software and equipment, and then somebody edits their videos for them, and they use AI, and like, you know, they're already set up for success. Like I've never been able to reinvest into the channel, so they got a huge advantage over me. If we're both playing the same game and it just came out and it's a really good game and everybody's playing it, you're not going to watch me, you're going to watch them, because they got all the fart noises and words on the screen and jump cuts and jump scares, and you know, so you know, it is what it is. I just need a little bit here or there. Like I'm saying, just very low amount. Like I have a certain amount I would like to make each month, and it's not very much. It's probably not even minimum wage, but we struggle every single month to make it to that. So, but yeah, the main thing I wanted to say is, yeah, when I'm doing this, I'm not doing that. And when I'm doing that, I could potentially make money. So imagine I'm dealing drugs or something. Like I could go get more packs and have more people come over and serve more people if I wasn't sitting here making a video or streaming or something. Or, if you're a DoorDasher, you could take more DoorDashes and go do more orders and get more money. Or if you got paid for reading books somehow and every page you read, you made a penny, like I can't read the book while I'm doing YouTube or playing EverQuest or thinking about it or doing the back end or answering comments or making thumbnails. Like, can't read and do that at the same time. So, yeah, I do this, and then I have another thing I do that makes money. And, like, both of them combined are not, I'm not saying I'm like, it's just okay, it's enough for now. And I'm hoping it gets better. I'm trying to build it. But, yeah, so while I'm doing this, I can't do that. And, if this doesn't make anything, then I could have been doing that, and I feel like an idiot type of thing. So I'm hoping, more often we can get $1 here or $1 there from a couple of people, because YouTube and Google and AdSense is not doing it. And I don't know if maybe that's what's up. Like, you guys think that maybe I'm getting some money off of YouTube or AdSense or Google, but it's barely anything, dude. It's like nothing. So it's not enough. And I mean, if every one of y'all became a $2 member, that would be all I would need probably. If every single person that watched just became a $2 member each month, like gave me $2 a month, that'd probably be all I would need. You know what I mean? So, but it's hard to get a bunch of people to do the same thing, and that's literally like that's all. If every person that watched was just a $2 member, which is just once a month, $2 once a month, then that would probably be enough. And then if you guys like start to, pick up the slack from Gems of War, like I would do more videos. It'd be more worth it to do more EverQuest. Like I have to do 4 streams a week for Gems of War just to make sure we keep our heads above water. If all of a sudden a bunch of EverQuest people became members and were given super thanks and whatnot, maybe I'd start streaming it. Maybe I'd start doing 5 videos a week or 4 videos a week instead of 3, you know? But anyway, long-winded, cringy, I know, but maybe now it'll never be something we have to ask about again. He said, gotcha, thanks for the response, appreciated. Yeah, and I don't mind people asking. I'm not going to give out my social security number, my last name, my exact address, but I'll explain it in a roundabout way with metaphors for you. All right, we got the... let's speed this up a little, sorry. You've probably been watching me, meditate most of the time. All right, we got the next video, the next newest video. EverQuest P99, trapped in dungeon with no way back. Wizard Necro Duo, level 9, Project 1999 EQ. Trying to fill up that title with tags and keywords, I guess. How much do we got left on this bad boy? About 20 minutes. All right, we'll try to get through these comments. I don't think there's any crazy one that's going to take as long as that one did. We got Brian Atnip here. Thanks for the great vid, Cinny. Keep it up. It looks like you got aggro from the roamer right before you killed that last snake. So yeah, we had a situation in that video where we got a 5 gnoll train. We were just finishing fighting the first batch of snakes we found, and a gnoll saw us from above, and then it brought 4 other friends with it, and we were trying to space them out and root them and maybe fight them, but we had to end up gating and running away. It's pretty cool if you haven't seen it. I think both of those have really cool stuff in it. The first part has that train and where we get stuck. The second part has us escaping and getting lost and not knowing where we're going and stuff like that. So here comes a dread corpse. We got Augusto Chuco. Love watching EQ videos. Thanks for uploading and can't wait for the next one. Me too, and I like making them and I like playing the game, so appreciate it, man. Trey here, Chad here. Shout out to both of y'all. EQ Emulation, who makes YouTube videos for EverQuest, just by the way. 20s, I think, on Scarlet Monastery. I used to solo that place farming silk. So I think in the video I was talking about WoW and how I remembered going through Scarlet Monastery a bunch of times on WoW. And he said it was level 20s. I couldn't remember what level it was. Dan Molina says, if I recall, there's a knoll that paths up past the snakes, then up to the level above you and repeats. It's a long route. In reverse, maybe aggroed as you looted, then proceeded to have a bad pathing back up and came back down after aggroing on some more gnolls above. I have played probably entirely too much in BB. Yeah. Yeah, we've actually gone backwards through that area since then, and we know kind of what it looks like up there. And there's two gnolls that path up there, and there's like two groups of 4 up there too. So either one of the pathing gnolls could have brought either one of the groups down onto us. I'm surprised they seen us from way up there when I was just looting a snake. I wasn't even fighting a gnoll. I wasn't, but it was kind of strange, but I get it. K. Seacrest says, fish are in the lakes down the ramp you just went down. Snakes. Follow the left wall from where you're sitting at 1840. Swim under the wall and up the ladder. That'll take you to the snake ledge. So there must be fish that you fight in there. I've never fought fish in Blackburrow. It's always been gnolls or snakes. I've never fought fish. But Trey fought fish in there, and K. Seacrest says there's fish too. I believe it. I just never seen them. Classic EverQuest, who makes YouTube videos for EverQuest, mostly on Project Quarm. But he's been doing some Monsters and Memories playtests and whatnot. I'm gonna wait till the game comes out. I'm too busy playing P99, but I like that he's doing it. That way I can check it out through him. And I think it's smart too. I should be doing that. He said, Merry Christmas, dude. I actually just started a solo self-found flagged character in the same area. Kanos area. Started some recordings, but won't release them for a little bit. Needed to get back to the poor man's life. Undercover boss. Yeah, I mean, it's a cool area. It's part of the game. Like, it's not all about getting to level 60 and going to rating and, like, getting best in slot and all that. I kind of like starting. I'm not an altaholic or anything. I'm actually probably the opposite. Like, I started my necro and I went all the way to 60, and then I started a shaman. I went all the way to 54. And then blah yada yada. I go pretty far and I stick with characters pretty long. And so I'm not like an altaholic. At this point, I've been playing for so long that I do have a few alts, but when I was playing my necro, I stuck to it all the way to 60. But now I kind of like seeing the different starting areas and trying the different races and trying the different classes. And you get to see the early dungeons like that are near the starting areas for each race and stuff like that maybe you didn't get to see back in the day. Like maybe you were a troll or an ogre and you experienced that area like Khazak-Thul and Guk and stuff like that, but you've never been a human from Kanos and you've never been to Blackburrow and the Karanas and all that. Like, it's fun. That's a way to make the game more interesting and more playtime and stuff like that without having to go through super hard levels and stuff like that. You can just start a new character, go to a different starting zone and experience different zones and dungeons and classes and races, and there's so many different ones. Like, how can you I killed that one right before that dread corpse came by. Eventually that thing gets me if you keep watching, I think. But sounds like he's gonna he made a character in this area, and yeah, it was really nostalgic for me, so I was gonna do it one of these days. I didn't know if it was gonna be erudite or human, but you guys seem to be kind of enjoying this wizard. It's kind of, we'll see, but seems like you're enjoying it good enough at least. K. Seacrest says you got 5 gnolls because you went too close to a wall, which put you close enough to one above you in the tunnel. He aggroed buddies on his way to you. See, I don't know though, man. We went back and forth by that same wall like a bunch of times. So I guess if he was pathing, maybe he wasn't by. Maybe he's pathing and he wasn't near it when we were going back and forth by it, previously. But it just felt like to me we already were in that area quite a bit going back and forth. So if he was going to aggro, we would have already aggroed. It just was kind of weird the way it happened. But maybe, you're right. And he was on the other side of a wall and he happened to be pathing like close to that wall when I bent down to loot the snake. I don't know. We got Graka here, aka Mogwai Man, with Gizmo, somebody said. Gizmo, the cool avatar. Graka is level 59 and I'm hating it, lol. 70% to go. I think he's recently got to level 60. Shout out Graka. Graka got level 60, y'all. I don't know why I talk to all these ogre and troll shadow knights. Like, it's my favorite people to talk to. And one of them's named Graka and one of them's named Gronkos. It's kind of funny. Is Gronko? Are you a Gronkos? Are you a shaman? Maybe he's a shaman. But anyway, big fat ogre ogres and trolls named Graka and Gronkos. And then I got Gucknut. They're all starting with a G, and they're all. I might make a video on Gucknut's camp because I haven't seen him in a while at the camp, and I was kind of keeping it a secret as a cool friend, but I might show it now that I haven't seen him there in a while. But that's awesome, Graka. Freaking level 60. I'm pretty sure you talked to me in the game, right? It's either you or Gronkos got level 60, and I'm sure both of y'all are pretty close. So shout out to both of y'all for leveling up. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do Thuggish to 60. I'm not like giving up on it, but I want to get him like really good equipment. Like I want to experience like having the crown, like the flowing thought crown, and maybe a fungi tunic and some clicky blood ember stuff and like journeyman boots. And I just want to have some way cooler stuff before I'm like doing 57, 58, and 59. I already got to 60 on my necro and I like did it kind of bare bones. I had like okay stuff, but now I'm 60 and I don't really care to like I'm not like super motivated to go get like that super best in slot for my necro because I'm already 60 and like I know I can handle a lot of stuff without doing that. It'd be nice. Like one day I want to do it, but I don't know. I already know, like I've already been to 60, so I kind of know how it goes. So now with my Shadow Knight, I'm trying not to rush and just level to 60 because I kind of want to be like super decked out before then. I want to be able to group. I want to kind of maybe get into some groups in like Karnor's Castle or wherever, the whole Sibyllus, wherever. But I want to be decked out so I'm like ready to go. I don't know. Or just solo with decked out. Or just duo decked out. Whatever. I want to be decked out at 56, 57, 58, 59 instead of just like dad camping my way there this time. Some people say that. They're like, hey, you just dad camp, you dad camp all the way there, yada, yada, yada. Which, might be mostly true, but it's not 100% true. I do other cool stuff sometimes. And finding safe dad camps is a skill as well. It's not, and it takes time and patience. All right, this person has a weird name, so I'm going to click on it because it might be something else. We got GFDFGHN. Probably just an alt account that they smash their face into the keyboard, I guess. But I don't know. If it means something, let me know. Yeah, GFDFGHN2189. Would you recommend quarm or P99? I heard quarm shut down or something. So that was another interesting one. So we're going to probably end the video on an interesting comment here. I said it's back up. Both are going right now. I said I like P99, but both are good. If you want a more challenging game that replicates the olden days, go P99. If you want more quality of life and faster leveling, relatively, right? I'm not saying it's fast. I'm just saying it's overall it's slightly faster for sure. Like I've seen people go from 0 to 60 on Quarm in like 2 or 3 months, when on P99 that'd be much harder. Of course it's possible, but you can't just whip it up and do it without actually planning a route and being a certain class and like, knowing exactly what you're about to do. But I've seen people like just jump on a new class and just go and get to 60 in like 3 months on Quarm. But on P99, you would have to like really plan that out and really like maybe have help and like be a certain class to do that. Somebody's going to be in the comments like, I did it, but most people, like 90 something percent of people, aren't going to go to level 60 in 3 months on P99. I feel like if I jump on Quarm right now and I just go and it's my goal to get to 60 and I want to show everybody how fast I can do it on Quarm, I bet you I could do it in 3 or 4 months, maybe even faster. I'm not saying I'm not trying to start anything. I'm just saying like it's relatively faster than P99 to level on Quarm, but it's harder than any other game out there. Like, it's my second favorite sexual position. I said, yeah, if you want P99, if you want to replicate the olden days with a more challenging game, do P99. If you want more quality of life and a little faster leveling, go Quarm. Maybe I should have said a little bit faster leveling. Because I know, like, when you're at 54 and 59, it's still, like, super hard, and it's still EverQuest and everything, but I feel like some of the levels are faster, and for sure. And then you get potions and stuff that you can drink, right? I've seen people like drink a potion and then they get a bunch of extra experience. Is that not true? I think overall it's faster, and then you guys can like chug a Stone Cold Steve Austin waterfall potion and get extra experience. Am I wrong? I don't know. I feel like I've seen that before though. And you can't like do a Stone Cold Steve Austin, break through the glass and smash a beer on your head and chug it down your throat for extra experience on P99 is all I'm saying. I do have like one more video that I could pull some comments from. I'm sure you guys are all bored to death by now, but there's only 7 minutes left in the video, so I might as well finish up here maybe. Trey says, "Grats, bro." I'm on this. Let me tell you which video. It's EverQuest P99, good early plat camp, 6-minute spawns, chunky experience, wizard level 8 to 9, haunted ruins, Project 1999. So this is when we were duoing here for the first time at level 8. And this is when I was reading comments the last few videos ago. So it's like, Inception or whatever. We're reading comments on a video where I was reading comments, but I wasn't reading comments from the video where I was reading I wasn't reading the comments from the video where I was reading comments because the video didn't exist yet when I was reading comments. So now I'm going to read comments from the video where I was reading comments because the comments are actually there and I'm in the future. So Trey said, "Grats, bro," on that video. Thank you so much, bro. We're going to be doing some bandits later, hopefully. Doing them, suspect. Bo again here. I was just playing in Blackburrow today, killing gnolls. I'll have to try the plat spot you were mentioning. Like I said, it's under level 10, just the first one you would think of if you want a little bit of extra plat. I'm not saying it's like amazing, hundreds of plat falling from the sky, but if you are trying to buy some spells and you've been killing gnolls and getting rusty weapons, and you've been killing wildlife and getting bat wings and grizzly bear taints and all kinds of stuff like that, I say do the haunted ruins, get bone chips, sell them to players, make 10 plat at a time. And it's static spawns that you can count on, 6 minutes. We got Lee Spider Pod. "I'd like to see more of this dude leveling up. My wizard is a few levels behind." Well, you're gonna get it. I wasn't expecting to make this many wizard videos back to back to back, but it's happening at the moment. But my SK is literally like right now. He's probably sitting in Kelethan, just wasting food and drink while I'm making this video because I'm killing a Kelethan guard every 24 minutes just as I work and stuff. So getting me a 10 plat longsword or 2 every. I'm getting me like what, 3 to 6 longswords every hour. But hey, it's better than 0. EQ Emulation said, "Gizmo is the kind, good-natured protagonist from the Gremlins movie." That was answering in my video there. I was like, "Oh man, I forget what that Gremlin's name is," and he was answering it for me. It was Graka's avatar. K Seacrest says, "You guys want a plat camp at 10, Kern's Tower. Everything in there drops bone chips. Save the badgers downstairs." I mean, you're right, but I'm trying to experience this area, and I already did Kern's Tower on my Ixar Shaman. So I just rampaged through all of Kunark on my Shaman, experienced most of Kunark on my Shaman or my Necro. So now I'm trying to go back to these areas. But you're right. Sure, you're right, and for everybody else, yeah, that's probably a better place to get bone chips. Kern's Tower. Nate's Games leaves a comment on this video. "That's pretty awesome. I had no idea that place was even platformable. I guess it just goes to show that just because somewhere looks kind of desolate doesn't necessarily mean there's no real value to be had. I have terrible luck at judging a book by its cover while playing EverQuest. This'll come in handy, and congrats on dinging 9. I tried to solo a whiz but kept getting murked. Probably just have to try a different strat." Yeah, you just gotta, you're going to. It's the squishiest class in the game. I think Enchanter's probably the only thing, Enchanter and the way they fight, sometimes they can die a little more, but Wizard is probably the squishiest, like, if you're getting punched in the face, you're going to get punched for the most damage, and you have the least AC, least HP. Even kiting, like AoE kiting, if something goes wrong, now you got fourth. I think it is the hardest. I think Wizard is the squishiest. I don't know if it's the hardest. Was like it'd be really hard to solo a rogue, right? But like as far as squishiest and dying the fastest if something goes wrong, freaking Wizard. What else did you say? Yeah, about the plat. Just, I'm saying under 10. If once you get past 10, you could probably do will-o-wisps and bandits and other things that are a little bit better. But under 10, under level 10, like what else are you gonna do? I say bone chips is the way to go for plat. Dan Molina says you too should be able to start the bandit sashes in Western Karana in the 10 to 12 range. There's small camps you can break. Just focus the casters down. That's about what I'm about to do today. We'll record it today, and it'll probably come out in a week or two. Because I got a bunch of stuff we recorded. I think. What else do I have? Maybe I don't have anything else recorded, actually. No, we went back through blackburrow. And we went different ways, and I recorded it, so probably be a little bit more blackburrow coming soon. I might break it up with some Shadow Knight or Necro. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I have a bunch more blackburrow recorded, but it'll be 1 or 2 videos, and we'll be out of there forever. Maybe ever. I might solo in there a little. All right, Trey says, "Ha, I do have a beard like a dwarf. Too tall, though, and my barrel roll is awful, despite extensive practice and rigorous training. Think the extra height is detrimental to my mastering of this magnificent maneuver." I think I said in the video, like, I picture him as a dwarf because he's always a dwarf in the game. So, like, his cleric and his paladin were both dwarves. And then now I'm seeing him back as an Ixar. Like when I first met him, he was an Ixar, so I pictured him like an Ixar. And now he was a dwarf for so long, I feel. Like Tower of Frozen Shadow and like Guck, and he was on a dwarf for quite a while. So then I started picturing him like a dwarf. I was saying like now he's back to an Ixar, but he's saying he's much taller, but he does have a beard, but he can't barrel roll. But he's working on it, y'all. All right, Frodrick with the last comment of the video, and then I'll get out of here and quit bugging y'all. But we'll be back on Wednesday with probably, hopefully, a better video that's not just answering comments with screwed up audio and soloing and doing the same thing over and over and over. It'll be better Wednesday, I think. I have stuff recorded that's pretty exciting, but if I decide to do something else, I don't know. We'll see. All right, Frodrick here. Grats on level 9. I personally think Wizard is the weakest of all the straight caster classes due to the fact that they have the least utility in groups and probably the worst at soloing. Good for just straight DPS on raids, but you have to be careful not to over-nuke, get summoned, and die. Had a friend who mained Wizard and loved it. To each his own. Great video as always. I enjoy you reading the comments on the videos. Is it over? All right. So it's over, y'all. But yeah, Wizard, you're probably right. Out of all the caster classes, you'd be better off with a Necro 100%, an Enchanter definitely, and then Mage is more survivable probably because the pet is so hardy and you can solo and call up the heroes and mod rods and so yeah, Wizard, that's why I'm kind of playing it. I want to play something that a lot of people don't play. And how many compared to every other class, how many like level 60 wizards are there? I'm sure there's more than like rogues and other stuff, but it compared to Necro, Enchanter, and Mage, like it's probably one of the lowest, if not. I bet there's way more 60 Necros and way more 60 Enchanters than there is 60 Wizards, is all I want to say. And then I bet Mages are at least close or more as well. So you're probably right, Frodrick, and thanks for the comment. All right, I'm going to get out of here. Static screen, stupid idiot. Like, share, subscribe, consider joining. It helps a lot. Tell your good about the channel, comment below. And I'll see y'all next time. I'm going to go fight some bandits. I'm going to put out another video on Wednesday, probably from blackburrow, but we'll see. And yeah, thank you so much. You guys are awesome. If you want to help me and my family, super thanks. Become a member, join the Patreon. Really, really appreciate it. Peace out.